Welcome to Conversations with Lauren and Ali, where we bridge all things in the spiritual and human experience.
This is a space where raw honesty meets higher truth, where personal stories open doors to deeper self-awareness, and where the messy, magical journey of being human is honoured as a sacred path of awakening. So, take a breath, get cozy, and join us in today's conversation.
No, it's okay. I just have a really sore right ear.
Mm-hmm.
It's been sore the last probably 2 days. Yesterday it was very sore. I think it started the day before. And it's like it comes in waves of so
Mm-hmm.
it's not constantly aching, but it's like when I drink coffee, say, like a hot
Mm-hmm.
drink, it hits my throat and it's like I don't know. I feel like I've had it looked at before. This has been a recurring thing for me in the last
Ah,
12 months. And
okay.
I've been to the doctor before and they've looked at it and gone, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, why is it so fucking sore? Like it's literally sore
Mm-hmm.
to touch inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's to do with nerves. I think it's like I've had shingles before, which didn't
Mm-hmm.
show up in that way, but I got like this rash under my arm and that years ago. And I feel like it must be something like that because the doctors can't see. And I never go to the doctor.
Yeah,
So this time
yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going. I just took Panadol, which I very, very rarely do too, but just to try and push
Ease it.
through.
Mm.
Yeah, because I don't know what else to do. It's making me feel a little bit unwell today too. So I don't know whether it's
Mm.
like a viral sort of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
thing. I don't know. I haven't been swimming. I don't know. I don't know, but it is a common thing in the same ear. My friend said to me this morning, "What are you not listening to?" I'm like, I don't know.
Well, can I ask another way? Have you been thinking a lot? Have you been overthinking anything or
Yeah,
ruminating on things, maybe?
yeah. I think just work, just the fact that I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
whole year I haven't done that much compared to
Mm.
usual, and I'm sort of I think I'm still trying to force stuff. Like I'm getting lots of information, lots of
Yeah.
downloads, and lots of stuff coming through. But I still always feel this pressure that I have to share something online or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know that feeling
Absolutely.
when that's your
Absolutely.
business you've got to
Yeah.
kind of keep going, you
Yep.
can't just, which I do, I'm really, and I've tried to come to terms with that that's the way I roll, and I think it's part of being a generator as well, is that you know you get those influxes and you
Mm-hmm.
share and then you retreat
Mm.
again. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, the retreating this year has been for weeks on end. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what it is.
But you're also been doing deep reprogramming with yourself,
And it's yeah,
yeah, you've been doing a lot of that. And that's why the retreat in the stillness is because your body is
yeah.
recalibrating and upgrading, isn't it, too?
Yes, yes. And the whole year is about been about taking those embodiment breaks, I
Mm.
suppose, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
Um, but
Allowing time for the stillness and the integration. The
yeah.
illness, I was going to call it there, which is really interesting, the stillness and
Ooh, the still
integration.
illness. Ooh.
I don't know
Oh.
why that went to come as a
Illness and
combination of that.
integration.
The stillness and integration, the illness is what was going to come through. And
Wow.
the reason the reason I asked you that question is because in my field at the moment, a lot of what's been coming up is a lot of this way the subconscious, the control of the mind that has operated, or been operating in this way of compartmentalizing, of doing, of control, and making sense of everything, computing everything, is going through an upgrade.
Yeah, for
The word
sure.
quantum processor is coming into my field. And so
Mm,
it kind of felt like when you were talking that it's connecting to this reprogramming or reconfiguring still
yeah.
of, like you said, of just embracing the fact that you don't have to do anything, you don't have to show up in any particular way, because this is the season of you in your mastery, just holding that resonant field or frequency and
Yeah.
knowing that's enough.
Yes. Yeah. It just sometimes it still feels so foreign.
Yes.
It just feels foreign, but yeah, that makes sense. And it's funny because when I was listening to you talk, I was hearing that like this get out of the mind, and
Mm-hmm.
something that I've spoken and been speaking about and hearing so much in my field lately is getting out of the mind and starting to feel things more and allowing ourselves to be that. What did you just call it? A quantum.
A quantum processor.
Yes, a quantum
Yeah.
processor. Like without,
Yeah.
because it's not just my ear, it's my
Yeah.
throat.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's here. It's my right ear and the right side of my throat. And it's the same every time I go through this. Like this is, I think, the
Mhm.
third time in about 12 months that I've had this. Um, yeah, it's
Well,
feeling, isn't it? It's feeling, yeah.
yeah, I was going to say because this is deeper heart coherence, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
deeper heart body embodiment. Like it's the next
Mm,
stage of that. And I feel like we're in a wave. And I say we because it's in my collective feel and I'm feeling it
yeah.
too. You're obviously feeling it, that we are realigning. It's another level of that realigning. And that was interesting
Mm,
that that word dropped in because that was, I hadn't used that before, but quantum processor with what you were just
yeah.
talking about was the word, and allowing us to reconfigure the physical body because
Yes.
it's
And I
coming
keep hearing
forward.
five senses, five
Yeah.
senses. Use your
Yeah.
senses, not your, yeah.
Yes, correct.
Mm,
So we're relied on our mind, and particularly
yeah.
you. We've spoken about this a lot. Well, all of us,
Yeah.
but you particularly have had to rely on that to think your way through, to do, to act, to control,
Yeah.
to stay safe, and that's a big like. You know, you're on the spiral of that. So yes, maybe you're meeting this again for the third time, but I
Mm,
also feel that a lot of this is coming up in this particular season because it's again looking at through some personal experience. What I've seen is we're being shown that we can, that we're in a different place, that we are in a different state of being, and that maybe what once was something that was fearful or that was creating a physical disturbance or imbalance in the body, that we are now moving past that. And so it's like one of those moments of test experience to show you, okay, this is really what you're stepping away from.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
remember that moment where you're about to cross the threshold and it gets worse before it gets better because it's like this culminating point for you to step through.
Yeah. Where everything needs to be, brought to the surface and
Mm-hmm.
released or whatever needs to happen. Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because I don't feel like I need to really do anything
No, I was
much
just going to
about
say.
it. It's
Yeah.
just, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And ride it out, a little bit of pain, whatever. It's annoying. It's trying to get my attention. It's got my attention. Um,
And I know you don't like this word, but I'm hearing it's like surrendering to it and knowing that it is just coming up to show you that this isn't the
yeah,
way that you're going to operate.
yeah, yeah. It's just very interesting that I feel like it's connected to my, like to
Mm-hmm.
hearing and
Mm-hmm.
even speaking,
Mm-hmm.
the ear and the throat.
And you're
Yeah.
going to, I mean, I can't, it doesn't escape me too, that last episode. You were speaking about the unhinged and that the Bev energy, let's say, of just like not giving a fuck and just and speaking your truth. So how interesting as well that you're saying it's like the hearing or the listening, the receiving, and then the throat, the speaking, the sharing
Mm,
element that's coming through here. It
yeah.
feels like maybe there is a weaving of that piece coming to
Yes.
fruition.
It does. And when you bring that up, I'm remembering you saying that I was in it was like being in that swing,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
pendulum. And it was like I
Mm-hmm.
was last week in that fucking unhinged state where I was not giving a fuck. And I was, woo, a bit off the Richter. And this, like right now, where I
Mm-hmm.
am at a week later, I'm much more subdued and flat. Like I actually feel like I could lay down and go to sleep. I'm at the other end. I'm at
Mm-hmm.
the opposite end.
Mm-hmm.
of that scale.
which is amazing because
Yeah.
that you had the expansion, you're having the contraction, which means you're about to find that
Yeah.
center, the
I
neutrality and
hope so.
embodiment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Mm.
honestly cannot tell you how much I'm seeing this for myself and through my client sessions this last week or
Yeah.
so. There is so much about the mind controlling and releasing its control or need to know or to even make sense of anything that is coming forward. And of
Yes.
course, it makes sense because, as you said, we have to feel it, and we have like to be in the heart to the body enables us to feel it. We can't feel it if we're sitting up there
No,
too.
it's yeah, and like yeah. I mean, that's something that I've been speaking about too. It's definitely been in my field, and surrender, which has also been in my field, and I feel like the I don't give a fuck energy that I was feeling last week, the unhinged,
Mm-hmm.
that was like the extreme of it. And then there's the other end of it, which is probably where I'm at now, is like, I don't give a fuck because I really can't be bothered to do anything at the moment. I
Yeah.
don't care to know what's going on here. I
Mm-hmm.
just know that it is and that there
Mm-hmm.
is a purpose for it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that maybe to me and the way that I understand and my body understands is I don't give a fuck. Maybe that's the way
Mm-hmm.
I connect with the word surrender.
Yeah. Well, I think, and we've talked about this many, many times too, but surrender had equal powerlessness for you at some stage,
Yeah.
or
Mm.
helplessness, and
Mm-hmm.
giving up from a place of
Yeah, giving up the
like,
fight, throwing in the
yeah,
towel.
like almost being
Yeah,
forced
weakness.
to. And
Mm-hmm.
so, as you've been speaking to over the last few weeks, the surrender is really the frequency of that is shifting for you as well, and your
It
understanding of
is.
it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like from last
Mm,
week to this week. When you look at it, that same energy is actually surrender, isn't it? The letting
hmm
go, that or how
hmm
I've been describing it as I don't give a fuck energy from the unhinged to
Yeah.
the opposite end of the scale. It's feeling the whole bandwidth of it,
hmm
isn't it?
hmm hmm
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And not
Yeah,
allowing your mind to attach, which is what you're doing by the sound of
I'm
it,
doing
to
that.
it not attach to what it is, or that it's
Yeah,
there, or that I have to go to the doctor again, or I have to
yeah.
find out what this is. Exactly as you said, there's nothing to really know.
No.
It's just like your awareness of where you are in that contraction, or I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
energy. And just knowing that that's there, and knowing that too is temporary, isn't it? Because
hmm
it's just it's going to swing into where it needs to be.
Yeah, yep. It's that
Trusting the process.
that's it. It's what it is. And I feel like it's a witnessing of a recalibration.
Mm-hmm.
It's
100%.
yeah, yeah.
I had a
Anyway.
similar experience. I don't even know now if it was a week or 2 weeks ago, because I always, and I probably have shared this with you before, often after something that was really stressful or an expansion, I would get really contracting headaches to the point of like
Yes,
migraine
yeah.
headaches.
hmm
And I've always known it's a physiological response of my body, and I've been trying to work with it over time. And it was interesting because it was like a week or two ago when it came up, and I was very much in the energy that you are today, where I was
Mm.
just like, okay, I know this is happening because I've just had a big expansion, but does it need to be this way? Like,
Yeah,
what
do I
is,
have to feel this
yeah,
and
why am I
suffer every time?
yeah,
Yeah.
why do I have to keep feeling it so
Yeah.
intensely? And it was interesting because what my guides were like showing me too was the way that the mind or the brain was in contraction of that expansion because it was trying to understand and it was trying to compute what was going on and trying to make sense of it all, to put it into boxes, because you know how the subconscious likes to label everything and pretty
hmm
much label everything fear. It's just putting it into that bucket.
Yeah.
And so it was like understanding that and just relaxing that I don't have to know, or I don't have to have the answers. I mean, that's surrender to me,
Mm.
and letting go of that control, that I'm still safe without having all of that information, because
Yeah.
ultimately we know that's what the body wants to feel. And so it was really interesting to move through that experience with a different lens and a different perspective. And I don't know yet. I mean, let's see whether that happens to me again. But I do feel like it's also observing when we expand, there's often a contraction,
Yeah.
but how we navigate that, can we make that a little bit easier through this knowledge now of what's actually happening within?
Yes. And like you said, without having to know all the details or without having to explain it, but just acknowledging that it is that contraction point. It is
Mm-hmm.
that swing of the pendulum,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will find its place. It's integration, isn't it? It's what we speak about as integration, or I feel like maybe even, the swing from the extreme or like the expansion, like you said, and then back to the contraction point
Mm-hmm.
again. That's the integration. And then when it
Mm-hmm.
comes back into center and into balance,
Absolutely.
that's the embodiment.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a
Yeah.
great way to describe it.
Yeah.
And the more that we look, I feel like I bang on about this all the time, but the more that we honor those cycles or that rhythm, that's the rhythm. And like, so here where you are today, rest is part of that rhythm
Oh, it
to
has to
allow
be.
that.
That's
Yeah.
all I'm feeling like doing is my eyes. I just want to go and shut my eyes and lay
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's honoring that, isn't it? Because there's possibly also a past version of you that maybe would have just pushed through.
100% there is a version that would have because
Mm-hmm.
those times when I wouldn't surrender, when surrender
Mm-hmm.
wasn't an option.
Option. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't an option. Then yeah, I wouldn't have. I would have pushed through. And I know because this is what was dropping in for me when I was just coming home from the shops before on the way to sit
Mm-hmm.
down here for this call. And I know we've spoken about in the past about mastery and stepping into your mastery and how sometimes you have to show up. There's a need to show up
Mm-hmm.
even when you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like finding that, like, that's what dropped into my mind when I was thinking I could have canceled this call this morning, the way I was
Mm-hmm.
feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, do I really want to, do I really want to do this? I'm going to be flat and low energy and not my usual self. Um, and then that dropped in, was like, no, remember we spoke about, sometimes you just got to, it's part of you, it's part of
Yeah.
mastery is showing up when you don't feel like it, but you kind of you know intuitively that you still need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is part of you walking or paving that new pathway for yourself and
Yeah.
rewiring and reconfiguring the way in which you
Yeah.
relate to these things as well.
That's
And
it.
I say this to people all the time. It really is when we do that, take that action or make that decision or choice in the moment where the real embodiment occurs, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
and sometimes that feels extremely uncomfortable
Yeah.
and physically it hurts or whatever it might be, but it's really powerful to do what you're doing and just show up, and show up knowing that it's in your it's within the power of your mastery to be
Yeah.
here and to be acknowledging what this is and then create that space for surrender and rest to
Yes.
allow that embodiment to continue.
Yes, because I think this just having a conversation or just using this space to process or to voice what I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling, it brings more clarity instead
Mm-hmm.
of just sitting in your own head or like I've been feeling, not even really thinking about what's causing it or why it's happening, but to sit and to voice it and to process it in that way brings the clarity. And I feel like that's definitely part of the integration process.
Yeah, for sure.
And once I step out of this space, I reckon I'm just going to go and lay down and have a nap
And
and try and
honoring
do
that for
not much
you.
for the day,
Honoring
which
that for
is,
you.
it's always a struggle. It's always a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to try and have
Mm-hmm.
a nap. I can't. I'm not very good at napping. I try and lay down and then there's all these other things in my brain that I
Yeah.
know I need to be doing or I should be doing or I could be doing. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's okay because they're on the list and they will get done and they will be done in exactly the time they need to be, won't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Mm.
again, that is also moving from the mind controlling all of that to the heart knowing and trusting that there'll be plenty of time and space to do what
Yep.
needs to be done when it needs to be done. Exactly like when you started speaking about this, like posting or showing up in,
Mm,
social media, that will come when it needs to come, and it will be there when
yeah.
it feels it, you feel
Yep.
ready. Well,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully you'll be able to have a sleep and see if also that helps shift anything. Call in that the quantum
Process
rest or quantum processing, like support to call your
support
team
team.
in and ask them to help you
Yeah.
with that. And if you get any more information on that at any stage, can you let me know? Because I'd be really curious as to what that might look like and feel and be.
Well, it's funny because I think I definitely know I need to lay down, like when I get the nudge of, oh, you need to go do a meditation or something like that. Do you know what I mean? That's when
Mhm.
stuff drops in. Like I
Yeah,
don't meditate daily or anything like
yeah,
that. I
yeah,
now literally do it when
yeah.
I'm told I need to. So when you're talking about this quantum processor and quantum processing, I'm like, yeah, there's been something happening with me when I'm laying down. So I think I do need to just lay down and
Yeah. See what
receive
happens.
maybe.
Yeah, that might help. Well, it does feel so connected to the way that the we're reconfiguring the brain in the physical form. And I guess it makes sense that there would be a quantum kind of effect and equivalent to that that's also going to amplify what happens physically
Yeah.
to upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because my body is like I'm hungry. I felt sick before, but now I'm really hungry.
Hmm.
Like I need food. Um, yeah, I don't
So your
know.
body's doing something. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
need sleep. Like I'm struggling. My eyes, I feel so fucking tired. That's why I'm like, have
Hmm.
I got a viral kind of thing or yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you do. Maybe there's a bit of everything going on there.
What you said about the stillness and the
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
what was it?
Well, I was going to say stillness and integration, and it was coming
Yes.
out as illness.
That's really interesting, Ali, that word illness,
Mm. So
the
maybe there is
connection.
something. Yeah. Yeah.
But in general, I'm talking about illness,
Hmm.
stillness, and integration
Hmm.
together
Hmm. Hmm.
is what illness is or needs. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Mm.
is
Yeah.
illness an integration process that requires stillness? Or I don't know, but there was something that was very profound about that.
Well, I mean, I guess when you think about, we talk about, or these days, don't we, getting an upgrade when we get a cold or a flu or
Yeah.
something like
We'll
that.
call it an ascension flu or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe there's something to that it is, and maybe this is what your ear is also doing. It is
Mm,
part of creating whatever
mm,
that upgrade is. I don't know. I mean, it, who knows? Because I've been saying this a lot to people. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, so I can't speak to anything in that realm, but I just feel like that subconscious and the loops and the patterns that we have been in, there's a lot of those that are still just kind of like flinging off. Like they're showing me like almost like a rubber band. It's like
yeah.
like pinging them and they're flying off. Um, and so there's like these little threads and loops and things that are sort of dissolving,
Yeah.
disintegrating as well.
Yep.
And I suppose that when it's connecting to what's happening to the body physically, like when it's shown up in that way
Yeah.
physically from through the body, maybe it's like that moment, as I said, of the crossing the threshold where it comes up again. Well, that's what that I'm going to be really curious to see with the headache that I had the other week. I mean, my head feels heavy today, so I don't know if it's actually gone. Um, but I feel like it's like moving away from those old ways when we weren't paying attention and the body was trying to get us to pay attention to.
Yes, and sometimes it feels like almost as if when you acknowledge something in the body, it almost starts to ease or go
Yeah,
away,
yeah,
or doesn't
yeah.
it? When you actually listen and go, okay, I'm hearing you, I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely,
Is it
absolutely.
is did you have the headache after New Zealand when you got
Mm-hmm.
back? Yeah.
A week to the day. Actually, you just reminded me because I realized it was a week to the day of Castle Hill when we were there. But I
Um,
will share maybe next time that a couple of nights ago, I kind of am hesitant saying it because I don't know why. I almost feel like I'm not sure if I believe it, but it feels like I had a partial like soul aspect walk in, walk out. And it was connected to part of what I received when I was there, because it feels like an aspect that I have known and have been kind of feeling come through. And I think that I was probably calibrating across that time in New Zealand. And it's connecting to that oversoul. It's connecting to the understanding of the oversoul embodiment, not as you know, as you raised as well, witnessing that with your in your field and with clients. So there is a lot, I think, that is happening too that we're not actually aware of, and we don't need to be. We don't need to
no,
be,
no.
but there could be something that's coming through for you as well, maybe around, I don't know. I don't know, because that it's
Yeah.
been a bit of a process over the last couple of weeks.
Okay, that's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah. What do you mean by when you said walk in, walk out?
Because it felt like this aspect was coming in to take the place of one that had been sort of in operating,
And that one left. That one
and
walked
that
out.
one left.
So it's like a
And
swap. Okay, yep.
yeah, that's the best way I can explain it. It felt like a
Yeah.
swap, not just an integration, but it
Yeah.
actually felt like a
You're
swap.
done. I'm coming in
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
yeah, because the
Yeah.
one that went out felt really small. She felt really submissive. She was the one that was afraid and was like, you know, pushed down and oppressed. And this one that came in was like a massive ball of fire. Like I literally like feel like I'm on fire when she steps forward a lot. But she came in with this real like we're not playing small a bit. It's funny because it reminded me of what you were talking about with the Bev and Lorraine
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
Because it felt like that. It was like going big, obviously in heart centered, but going big. And also like we're not mucking about now, like, you know, with this mission, it's like you know, she's the part of me that's driving, I think, a lot of what I'm sharing and posting at the moment.
Yeah.
It's like she's pushing me to be like visible and to just not give a fuck because kind of I've got to say I'm posting stuff and I'm not even because at
Caring.
this
Like,
moment I'm in it's just like I feel the need to just get comfortable with being in the expression without worrying
yeah,
about what people
that's
say.
it. It's just push your
Oh my
edges, put
gosh,
it
it's like
out.
what we said last week too. It's like remember I said to you, why can't we just be, I didn't even know, I think I was
Yes.
talking to myself, why can't we all
Yeah.
just be accepting of everyone's truth and not.
Yeah. And just be neutral about it and not be,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I was prefacing probably some of this that's coming through. So
Wow.
anyway, it just was a culminating, and so I think that a lot of and the Andromedan aspect from New
Yeah.
Zealand that's been really kind of front and center as well, and it feels woven into this idea of that level of oversoul. If I don't know how to really frame that, you know, like I know it's not higher than in the hierarchical sense, but there's more wisdom attached to that.
Yeah. I just wrote a post about it
Oh,
yesterday, but
did
I
you?
haven't, well, I haven't shared it, but I wrote a thing about it yesterday about the oversoul and just how it's been the oversoul's been coming through in my sessions and
Yep.
my sessions have evolved from just working with the higher self, and
Hmm.
now it's just the oversoul is, well, the higher self is still there, but the oversoul's coming in, and I find it very hard to articulate too, but the way that
Yeah.
I see it is it's like the literal step under God. It's like
Yes.
shows me
Yep.
like in that God is just there, like
Hmm.
it's, and the human higher selves are really I don't want to say it, but this the oversoul's just a whole other fucking level. And that's what my post is
Yeah.
trying to say is it shows me how much we've all evolved because we're not bypassing, but we're moving to that level where
Yeah.
that's where we're operating from. The
Yeah.
oversoul, that's where the guidance, the wisdom, the insight, everything is coming from that place, as opposed to just the human higher self. Like we've gone
Absolutely.
past it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that way of explaining. I look forward to seeing your post then.
No.
Um, because and I've been because the other thing that I feel, and I've been trying to say this because this has been coming up a lot in sessions, but it's like because, and maybe I don't know if this will resonate for you, but because that's what we're moving into, of course, it means that there's another layer that has to be let go of, or there's
Yeah.
more that gets like shifted out of our life. And
Yeah.
yeah, maybe there was something that was right 2 days ago, but it's not now, or like aligned, and it's not now because when you're tapping into, I don't know, that more quantum kind of
Yes, that
field,
higher intelligence that I don't
yeah,
know how to describe it. Yep.
you've it's got to require another letting go,
Yeah.
another
Yeah. To be able to connect with that level of consciousness or that it's to me it's connected to the God self. Like that's as well. Like it's so hard. But yes, of course it
yeah.
has to. And it's been really hard for me to fathom because I'm kind of in a state of confusion again, whereas I thought that this year was really about coming back into the body and into the human. And now this oversoul stuff's coming up. I'm feeling like again yes, it's to do with the body, obviously, as we recalibrate to be able to have
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
connection with that more fluid connection with the oversoul. So it doesn't feel so like, oh, far away or whatever. But it's almost like I feel like I'm going beyond the body again. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I do. And I find confusion with this as well, but what came in for me recently was when this presented itself, and I guess I'd been calibrating to it, not knowing this is what I was calibrating to. And what I was seeing, I think, is the template kind of the oversoul in sort of an etheric form, but I was feeling it within my heart. And then I heard this voice. It was like, and I just posted about this today. This voice that was like to go deeper, go within. Like I was kind of like going like that, and it was like, no, go within. And I was guided to drop in and descend, and I could feel myself going within in a completely different way than I ever had before. And I had this sudden understanding of like I was going through that primordial within me, um, and that I was moving through that darkness to come to that deeper layer of light. And I think what you were describing then is kind of what this was, because I was meeting that part of oversoul, but within the depths within my being
yeah, yeah, of where that sort of part of you lies
of where it was
within. And it's
within.
fucking deep in there. It's deep down in
Correct.
there.
Because this was going
Yeah.
somewhere I'd never been before. And it was the first time I had this, like the voice within me, my inner voice, sorry, said, like, I'm not afraid of this. Like I just let myself go. And
Yeah.
it was just like going straight down. And I said, and I suddenly was like, oh, I know I bring the light. Like I had this whole like epiphany moment, I suppose. But I think it was I I don't either. I don't have the words yet properly either because I'm relating to the confusion that you're talking about. But something about this vehicle of the form and the formlessness of that oversoul,
Yep. Which I've
and
written. Yeah. It's not human. It doesn't have there's nothing
no,
physical about it.
no, and it's about that descent. And I feel like that
Mhm.
reminds me of something that I read. I think it was something about Mary Magdalene where she talks about the descent in within, like ascension is the descent,
Sorry, I'm
and
just laughing because yeah, keep going. Yeah.
no, and so I was just having this even deeper understanding. I say understanding, my mind still can't really comprehend it, but I'm trusting that it's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You experienced it and that's all you need to, it's
yeah.
happened.
and which is why I think sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should share this
Yeah,
because it
that
kind of
because it
sounds
sounds
crazy. Like, and
that's
so,
yeah.
yeah,
But it's
exactly.
not. And
Yeah.
people will
Mm.
like I even balked at like I said, I've handwritten like whatever came through about the oversoul and I'm like, ooh, people are gonna fucking
Hmm.
have judgment about this or and why I'm laughing about what you're talking about, the descent, is because I also have written another post here. Everyone talks about ascension, but what about incension? And I know incension is not actually a word, but
There you
that's the word.
go.
I'm laughing. I'm like, we're on the same page
Of
here.
course we are.
And
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah, of course we would be.
yeah, it's just like in a different, coming from a different perspective. So it's interesting to hear your perspective because that's what's been coming in for me is like we see ascension as being out here and everything,
Mm.
but what about instead of using the word descension or
Yeah,
descend because people go, oh fuck, I don't want to
that's
descend,
true.
like
That's true. Yeah.
um it came through as incension, the
I
word.
love that. I love
And
that.
yeah, about and it's all about yeah, bringing those higher frequencies and that multi-dimensional awareness and everything into the body. Like it's part
Yeah.
of ascension.
Yeah.
Ascension or the descent is part of ascension, but everyone just calls it ascent. And this is where I was being a bit kind of bold and like, oh, should I,
Yeah. Yeah.
say it like that because everybody talks about ascension all the time. And when we think of ascension, it's raising up and it's going up and up and up and up. But what about a part of that, like that it works together.
Embodied
There's like
ascension.
this
Yeah.
fucking embodiment, which is
Mm.
that's another word for it, is embodiment, I suppose. But
Mm.
yeah, so that's really interesting
But
yeah,
I
to
think
hear
it's
your
important that you are speaking about it, or I'm trying
yeah,
to speak about it, and maybe I'm sure there's others that are speaking about this as well. And because this is where we're moving into, because I
yeah,
think like as you said, your sessions you're seeing going into straight into connection with oversoul rather than higher
yeah.
self. Um, we're feeling it in ourselves and our experience and our journey, and it's the way that we are certainly moving for that embodied ascension or the physical ascension, whatever you want to call it.
Mm, mm-hmm.
um and I
Yeah.
think there's just so much more empowerment that comes from that concept as well, because and I laugh as well for myself because it's like returning to the sacred heart, like it's been in front of me this whole time. This is why I've been returning to my own heart. This is why I've been feeling guided to support people to return to their heart, not just because this is developing the relationship with yourself, which, on surface level, but it's this intention
It's
or
exactly what we just
just,
spoke about.
yeah, yeah,
It's
it's all of
embodied
that.
ascension.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it is, Ali. And that's you've
Mm-hmm,
been diving into the primordial feminine and stuff for months. Like this has been happening for you this year where
mm-hmm.
you've really gone into a descent, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And the the thing is, I want to shout it from the rooftops sometimes, because it's like, if I knew this before, and I guess everyone has their path, and you need to do what you need to do, but allowing yourself to go into that descent, allowing yourself to meet the primordial within, or the darkness, the primordial creation,
Mm.
is the only way.
We're
It
in a
is the
body. We're on
only
Earth. We're
way.
human. Yeah.
Dancing about, going all, and I laugh because I've been doing this, dancing about trying to find it in all these other ways, avoiding, like we started with the feeling, avoiding the one thing that was really where it was at, and of course it would be the one place that we don't want to go,
Mm.
and that's feeling stuff, because that means we've got to go within, and as we feel through those layers we drop through. I know my clients get frustrated with me because I'm like sitting there saying, okay, let's acknowledge and feel that. Let's drop in and feel that.
And they
Let's
don't
go
want to.
underneath that. And
They
they don't
don't
want
want
to.
to because
And
it's
then they want
uncomfortable.
answers from left, right, and center. And it's like, this is the answer. This is
Yeah.
why you're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and so I know they get frustrated with me. And I sometimes feel like, maybe, is there a better way? But it's the only way.
You've got to be, and you are the
It's the only
catalyst for
way.
them to do that. Like that's your part of your role. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
people don't like doing that on their own.
Gosh, no.
Nobody wants to
No.
sit and feel their shit. Nobody does. But if someone else is kind of pushing you and giving you
Yeah.
the nudge to, no, let's do it. We're here now. Let's,
Hmm.
yeah. Fuck. Wow. Oh,
Well, what a beautiful completion point, and
Thank you for
apologies for
joining us in this space of truth, reflection, and connection. If today's conversation stirred something within you, we invite you to sit with it, journal on it, or share it with someone who walks the path of self-awareness too.
these conversations are living transmissions, and we are so grateful to be on this journey with you. Until next time, remember your human experience is sacred and you are never walking alone.
With love, Lauren.
And Ali.